This is a restructuring of Fisher & Paykel. In 1999, the company underwent a fundamental restructure leading to Fisher & Paykel healthcare as well as the appliance sector. The medical division of Fisher & Paykel had become increasingly profitable, and by the first half of 1997 it contributed to 50% of the company's profit and exported over 95% of its production. The split precipitated a further reorganisation of Fisher & Paykel Appliances, with the company being split into 3 business units. In 2001, Fisher & Paykel Healthcare Corporation and Fisher & Paykel the Appliances sector became 2 separately listed firms. Spearheading export activities with further new product innovations such as the EcoSmart washing machines and dish drawers. By 2004, the year in which Fisher & Paykel Appliances celebrated its 70th birthday, the business revenue for the appliance export had increased to 71% of the total revenue. The firm then started exporting to over 80 countries worldwide. In 2005, Fisher & Paykel began to implement its global manufacturing strategy, which was to bring radical changes to the company. The overall aim was to situate its production facilities offshore near their major markets. Later, this would mean seeking lower direct cost production sites in the developing world. The strategy also involved strategic acquisitions overseas, in which in April 2007, Fisher & Paykel Appliances dropped a bombshell when it announced plans to close production of its Smart Drive and AquaSmart washing machines and clothes dryers in Auckland and relocate them to a purpose-built factory in Thailand. This announcement was greeted with widespread criticism, such as it was a further blow to the already struggling manufacturing sector. The CEO and the managing director, John Bongard, explained that the decision to move the laundry plant out of New Zealand wasn't one that was taken lightly. Also, the environment in New Zealand for the type of manufacturing operation had deteriorated due to high interest rates and high exchange rates, so it was better for profits to move it overseas. The relocation of facilities was scheduled to take place over 12 months and involved the wholesale removal of equipment from Auckland to Thailand, plastic injection moulding machines and dyes, fabrication equipment, assembly equipment and metal pressing facilities. The Thai plant began operations on time in March 2008. Meanwhile, the closure of this part of the Fisher & Paykel operation in New Zealand led to the loss of approximately 350 positions in Auckland. The many critics of Fisher & Paykel's decision point the finger of blame at the failure of successive governments to support manufacturing in New Zealand. John Whaley, CEO of the New Zealand Manufacturers and Export Association, said that Fisher & Paykel's decision to move offshore is a consequence of policy that creates a New Zealand of 2 economies with massive differences between the external and domestic sectors. He said, "There are company leaders telling me that for a generation they have either never seen business conditions so good or so bad, depending on their relationship to the domestic or external economy. As long as New Zealand relies solely on the OCR as a tool to control domestic inflation and discards all other possible measures, then policy will continue to drive a wedge and exacerbate the gap between the 2 economies, between tradables and the remainder of the economy." The National Secretary of New Zealand's largest manufacturing union, the Engineering Printing Manufacturing Union, which represents 2,000 Fisher & Paykel workers nationwide, says the government needs to do more and urgently. "We're now seeing a very serious and very desperate situation in manufacturing that will have flow-on effects for our economy and our society for years to come. If something isn't done now to stem the flow of plant closures. The government needs to understand that the incentives for other countries to entice New Zealand manufacturing are significant, and we need to do more as a country to encourage investment in a high-end manufacturing. 250,000 Kiwi workers and families are relying on it. So pretty much, Fisher and Paykel relocated to Thailand because a better economic environment for them, so they'd make more cash pretty much. And everyone in New Zealand that was employed by Fisher and Paykel was having a big cry about it because they will lose their jobs.